before anyone says anything, yes, I realize I look like a 13-year-old boy. I shaved because of a Comic-Con. We're all just going to get over it. Uh, and yeah, so before we start this, rest in peace to Kamara de los Reyes, actor who plays White Tiger in this, because the guy was fantastic.
He was.
Just off the charts fantastic. You know what this feels like. The exact same thing that happened with Lance Reddick.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, was it cancer? I can't remember exactly what Lance Reddick passed from. Lance Reddick's death was announced, and then the very next project he was in, he died in that project. Like, a main giant point of the thing was the fact that he died.
Mm-hmm.
And now that same exact thing, sorry to bury the lead here, happened here. But, so, before we get to that, I'm liking that they're trying to show that Kingpin isn't exactly as ruthless of a bastard that he used to be. He is actually trying to be a somewhat not corrupt government official.
It kind of feels like he's trying to have his cake and eat it too. Like he's like working with the system, but also using it for his own gain.
When the system doesn't quite work the way he wants, he just goes, one time, I'm going to do this. And then the next thing happens and he goes, okay, 2 times, going to do this. And the worst part is, he's doing it not because he wants to be, or at least how it seems, not to be a ruthless ruthless, I don't want to say what, crime lord. He's trying to do it to save his marriage. Which is weird.
I mean, that's been a lot of his motivation. Everything he's done has been for Vanessa.
It has been. And the counseling aspect with them is fantastic so far, because trying to figure Wilson Fisk just going through counseling is a funny enough thing as it is. And the fact that it's marriage counseling is twice as funny. And when he's getting marriage counseled by Daredevil's girlfriend is 4 times as funny.
Yeah, the layers upon layers keeps building.
Keeps building, and it's freaking hilarious. But I do appreciate the masterful switch with Torres with the cab. And I don't know if this is me using hyperbole, because maybe the episode just got me with how good it is. This is in like the top 3 of the best episodes of Marvel TV they've ever made.
I'm not going to disagree with that. And here's the best part. Not once do we see the Man Without Fear. And
No.
there's not a single action sequence. It's basically all in the courtroom.
Which is when I referenced before, and everyone has said 1,000 times, that Daredevil works as a procedural. It's right there!
Yep.
You don't have to put the suit on for it to be good! It's almost like part of being a lawyer is awesome when you get the case right!
Now, that being said, I'm still wondering how much was changed from the original iteration of this show, because from what I've been hearing, episodes 2 and 3 of the season we have now is how the show originally started. Like the first episode was pretty much intended to further mix in the lore of the Netflix series with the MCU. Which is important because that was the version that people loved. I get that. But at the same time, at the same time, if they made like 0 changes to the show, I probably still would have enjoyed this.
Yeah. And again, I'm going to bring this up. They never once said that Karen and Foggy weren't in this show. They never said it once.
That's true.
Not one iota. They never said they weren't involved. They just didn't outright announce they were involved. You know who they didn't outright announce they were involved either? The White Tiger.
Yep.
Or any of these other actors. They announced the big ones. And now magically, the characters that are barely in the show and weren't announced as the big deal of the show are barely in the show. It's almost like they weren't going to have that big a part anyway. Because the fucking show is about Matt becoming Daredevil again. Is Matt going to want to be Daredevil if he doesn't need to be Daredevil? He stops being Daredevil because Foggy dies. Boom! 10 minutes in an episode you had him. Was it announcing his thing? No. You have the show happen and go, hey, hey, that's a surprise. That's almost like storytelling. And then Karen. Is he going to be happy not being Daredevil if he has Karen with him? No! Because that would give him something to be happy with outside of being Daredevil. It's almost like they did this shit on purpose. But y'all can't be fucking happy unless you have everything told to you, and then you bitch if you see too much in fucking trailers.
Fandom
Y'all are never happy. You are allergic with being okay with the Marvel property now. It has become the fun thing to hate on it just because it says Marvel. You think you're the fucking cool kid in class just because you say, I don't like the thing that those peasants like. Guess what? I don't know if I need to tell you this, but Martin Scorsese isn't gonna add you on any sort of list. And I know these people in real life. I am good friends with these people in real life. Watching them talk about anything is terrifying. I've watched them say they love Marvel movies because they went to film school and went to this and that. The second that Martin Scorsese said that they weren't cinema, they were trash, and I am quoting people here, worse than The Love Guru, a movie that tanked Mike Myers' career. The brainwashing of people that cannot come up with their own opinions nowadays is terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, let's talk about a really good episode of TV. But, yeah, the switch with Torres was fantastic. Matt whipping out the mask in the middle of the proceedings without asking Ayala about it?
That was a bridge too far.
That was... like, Matt, you crazy bastard. It's just like, I don't care. What are they gonna do? Lose the case? I don't know. And he even knew it. He's like, I could do this, but it's not gonna work. I could do this, but it's not worth it. Matt knew everything that was going to happen if he pulled that mask out, because that is the best part about using the lawyer side of Daredevil.
Yep.
It's one of the best parts. And that's like when I hear people complain about, I just want to see action. I don't want to see this procedural stuff. I don't want to have all this church involved. You don't want 90% of what makes Daredevil in the show?
Yeah, like seriously, guys, come on.
When you explain Daredevil to someone, do you say, yeah, you guy in red suit fight crime? Oh, he's the Flash then. No, you see, the Flash is different because he's got speed. Oh, what does Daredevil do? Oh, he flips around. Oh, so he's Dick Grayson, but he's red. Well, no, he's got other stuff. Okay, why don't you ever talk about that part? Oh, because I don't... The thing that makes him who he is? It's almost like the writers get the character.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking crazy talk. Anyway.
One thing that was surprising was how much the police were involved in this case, both positive and negative.
That is the thing I was going to bring up because, again, grandson of a proud and very great cop respected by a good chunk of my state. I appreciate that they didn't do the stupid thing and went, cops are evil. Every one of them. Not a good one to like them because, every single cop's bad. Half the country would be dead if every cop was bad because we know... No, it's almost like just the bad cops make the news. Because y'all wouldn't watch stories about a good cop because you can't carry that on for weeks at a time. Hey!
Exactly.
But anyway, I appreciate that they didn't just do the bog standard. Yeah, we got 2 corrupt cops. Everybody on the task force is corrupt. We got no help for y'all. But they went, no. I bring this up. We are in Marvel, New York. A car mugging could be stopped by anyone from Reed Richards to fucking Ghost Rider. I love that they're just acknowledging the fact that, 17 cops have seen him. Because there's heroes in New York.
Yep.
Because Marvel didn't realize other cities existed for 30 years. But I just love that they went, no, yeah, he stopped the girl. He did this thing. It's almost like heroes do a lot of things that people would testify in court for. It's a shocking thing they don't do enough.
That's why I appreciate this show and this episode specifically, because sometimes I feel like we take street level heroes for granted.
We do. They aren't always there aren't the people that are taking out aliens. It's the people that Peggy from down the street who would have got shot or raped by random thug went, no, he saved my life. I'm in here testifying because of him. Do you have proof? Yeah. The guy that almost freaking killed me randomly doesn't come around my hood anymore. You notice how crime went down in that area? It's because of him. 15 other people in my apartment building will testify the same exact thing. Would they come? Yeah. Do you got some time? Because I know all their numbers because they live in my building. We don't do this. It's why villains like this in these shows need to exist. And, you get different versions of it because you have the straight-up superhero or the straight-up hero dealing with regular people, but then you get the other side of it that's kind of wackier with Jen representing actual court laws with bad heroes and villains and shit. You can have both ends.
Yep.
Okay, we're talking about this proceeding. I need to call out what might possibly be the dumbest, and I mean the dumbest and most blatant, manipulative, in-case tried lie I've ever heard in a fucking procedural, in a show, animation, TV show, telenovela, whatever I've heard in my life happened in this episode.
Ooh, which one?
Did you guys know that when 200,000 pounds of steel hits a man, he gets turned into a balloon of his own organs? But no. That 200,000 pounds of metal hitting that man at roughly 80 miles an hour doesn't kill him right away. No. It kills him when the train stops and backs up.
Oh, that... What kind of bullshit was that?
I'm fucking sorry. People have died from being hit by a car at 30. Fuck off! The same people in this universe were shocked when fucking Bullseye fell off 3 stories and walked away!
Yeah, I don't buy the train.
What manipulative horse shit was that? And he tried to and with all my heart. You need to know, he felt all of that pain until that train stopped. Are you fucking kidding me?
Get out of here.
How was he not laughed out of that courtroom? And I'm sorry, that's the only gripe I have. Matt should have said objection on sure, absolute, not objective, factual horse shit on that statement. Any juror that bought that needs to never be allowed in any court proceeding or general conversation ever, because their cognitive ability is about as valuable as a wet fart. That blew my mind when he said that.
Yeah, when he said that, my jaw dropped. Like, are you fucking kidding? Are you fucking for real?
I literally had to pause the episode because I couldn't fucking comprehend what he just said.
Keep talking while I look up the actor who played Hochberg.
But I couldn't. I factually, I was raging. My heart was about to burst out of my chest. That is factual lying. And you had this judge calling them to stop saying shit that was dumb earlier in the court hearing, but he didn't stop that.
Okay, so the actor's name is John Benjamin Hickey. He's great. He's the perfect foil for Murdoch in these 2 episodes.
And he could tell he's a great actor, because no one that's not a great actor could have delivered that level of bullshit with a straight face.
Oh,
I
God,
can tell
no.
you now, if I was in my trailer and I saw that line and went, this is actually what he's going to say. This is no hyperbole. You're not spicing this up. This bullshit's gonna be said in his defense. Like earlier, when he said the statement, I pay my taxes, I go to church. I'm like, okay, you're going to try the bullshit. Well, I'm a good person. Does that mean that I couldn't have thrown a guy in front of a train? Because I'm evil. Now, as ridiculous as that defense is, because it is, I'm sorry, buddy. You're not a good guy because you go to church. I have plenty of family that go to church on Thanksgiving and Christmas because they have to before they can get their food and presents. Just because you go to church doesn't make you a good person. I'm going to bring back the good old saying of being in a church doesn't make you a Christian any more than being in a garage makes you a car. So anytime that freaking defense gets brought up, shut up. You lost me at your full defense. Sorry, we're all human. It's not a good defense for trying to blame a guy for a murder. Sorry. Doesn't happen. Because in the eyes of the Lord, buddy, you lying right now is on the same level as the murder you're trying to accuse him of. So let's not try and use church in that argument. Because you're a liar. But anyway. So I always love in this also, because I was cheering like a little schoolgirl cheerleader. I love when they don't just say acquitted of all charges.
Yeah, they gotta run through each charge one by one.
Every one, not guilty, not guilty, not guilty, as Matt is just dabbing up everyone in sight of literally sitting here going, let's go! And then as that goes, I'm like, we have 10 minutes left in this episode. Something bad's gonna happen.
And
I
lo
was
and behold, my favorite, because I know it something similar to that happens in the comics, but for the sake of the show, it's still pretty bittersweet. But I love how in the background you hear the voiceover of Fisk saying like, "Those who wear a mask are a coward."
Who are you talking about, Wilson? Are you a little butthurt?
Oh, he is 100% butthurt.
What's going on, buddy? Are you mad that a vigilante didn't do a bad thing and got acquitted of it? Are you upset that your corrupt cops couldn't nail a vigilante until you had to do something different because you're bad at your job? But, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of had the ending spoiled. Not directly, but I saw a comment that went, considering he passed away in real life, the ending of this episode is bittersweet. So, like, damn it. But, for everyone that doesn't know, I can't remember if it's his daughter or it's a different one. There is another white tiger. Is that his daughter?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, it's the white tiger I knew of. I didn't know there was a male white tiger, which, sorry, I don't know much about white tiger, period. I always just thought the costume was awesome. But, again, I also like that in the middle of Marvel, we're just like, you're sir, these testimonies are going to get brought up because I'm bringing up the fact that this guy's a superhero. Like, that is just a viable thing in court. I know we talked about it in the other episode, but it's just not trying to portray that because it'll ruin his case. And then Victor Ayala was like, or Matt goes to Victor, he's like, you're never going to be able to put that suit on again. And then Ayala in the back of his mind just goes, bet. He goes, you ain't stopped me from helping people because you're not. You're not. But, so, I just had my note again, good cops and bad cops. I can't be the only one that thinks this, but I would be willing to bet my car that that's not the Punisher.
Oh, thank God you said that. I was a little bit worried that you would say that, but no, it's not the Punisher, but it's. I'm pretty sure they've even confirmed in interviews that, like, yeah, we're gonna talk about the cops wearing the symbol, and Frank's not gonna be too happy about that.
No, because at this point, you do not gain anything from that fake out. Why would you not show the Punisher's face if he killed someone?
And also, why would he kill a fellow vigilante?
Exactly. A fellow vigilante who has tried to be framed by bad cops.
Doesn't that sound familiar?
Shocking! It's almost like there's anyone with comprehension skills would know that's not him. And also, not gonna lie, he wouldn't have been that good to him.
Oh, no.
He would not have got one shot to the dome. Sorry. I'm gonna bring up... There was, oh, man. I can't remember what the run was, but it's a Garth Ennis comic. Because all the good ones are Garth Ennis for, Punisher. But there's this... He has this, I want to say it was the Slavers, where, it was about selling girls into prostitution, and it was like this Yugoslavian... like guy from those wars and stuff, and the Punisher needed to get information out of him. I'm sorry, the hyperviolence of this makes me laugh. He drugs the guy, starts off with drugging the guy, drags him out in the woods, and just sets the guy in like this good little like circular, maybe like 5x5 set of trees. And again, guy is heavily drugged. Takes out his intestines. The guy's still alive. Takes out his intestines, loops them around the trees, stops all the bleeding. So this guy is still alive. Sits there. The guy wakes up, sees his intestines, loops around all this trails, and Frank just goes, so let's talk.
I love that.
The Punisher's a fucking best. Or like the other one, there was this story where this guy who was part of the Ganucci crime family and was like messed up from like one of his family members, I can't remember which, like she called him like his little thug, and like there was incest involved. This story's screwed up. But this guy tries to get the Punisher's attention by pissing on the Punisher's family's tombstones on national television.
Oh, jeez.
And all it does is cuts to Frank, who's in the middle of a bar, just eating a burger. And all you see is the guy looking at the screen. He's like, oh man, if I was that guy's family, I'd be really pissed. So then he just takes this dude out in the forest, shoots him in the stomach, and he goes, your intestines are going to fill with shit. And then you're going to die. And that's it. And the guy's screaming at him, no, kill me. He goes, no, that's all you get. And Frank just leaves him to go septic. Oh, God. There's few people that when you let them get creative than the Punisher. That's why I'm saying when he wants to make an example of someone, he's not just giving you a tap to the dome. I'm sorry. He's making an example out of you. He just is.
So here's the question, in case we don't actually already know. How soon do you think we'll see Frank in this season?
It's 12 episodes?
No, this is only 9.
Oh, it's
Season
only
2's
9.
8.
Oh, that's right. The season 2. Yeah, sorry. 9 and 8. So I can't imagine that after Victor got shot now, after he got acquitted, that Frank's not going to know something happened. I would... God, it's been a minute since I watched it. Can you refresh me on where Frank is sitting in this continuity?
Oh, gee. It's... I wish I could give you a straight answer, but it's been years since I've seen season 2.
Yeah, it's been literally forever. But, no matter what situation he's in, again, people, I'm sorry in the comments, I have not watched the Netflix stuff in a while. I wanted to rewatch it before this, and then life and overtime got away from me. But, I can't even picture an instance where Max 3, I'm banking 2 more episodes pass before Frank is strapped to pack and ready to go. Because no matter where he is, you can't tell me he didn't somehow hear about Matt defending a vigilante, clearing his case from corrupt cops, then that guy gets capped that afternoon, and he's not like, all right, Matt, you're not putting the costume on. I'm fixing this. It depends on how in the open it is known about the Punisher skulls on the uniforms. Because right now we're only seeing tattoos. That's the first time we saw it on a freaking bulletproof vest.
Yep.
It is 0 to 10 minutes after we see the first cop in public with a giant Punisher skull on something. Because also, we're supposed to have an anti-vigilante task force. Oh, that brings back bad memories of Arrowverse. Anyway, so we're supposed to have this anti-vigilante task force. Fisk doesn't want vigilantes. And we're going to be labeling it with the symbol of the biggest vigilante in New York. Currently.
Yeah, that is
going
going to get his attention.
0 to 10 minutes as soon as the first person cop is seen in public wearing a Punisher skull. Because Frank's gonna go, not happening. But, yeah, 3 episodes tops. I'm banking 2, because you're gonna have a full episode of Victor's death.
Yep.
And then it getting out that Victor's dead. And then, Matt, who was already twiddling the horn in the courtroom, getting real sick of this shit. He's going to be a lot more twiddling of that now that Ayala's dead. And I can't see for how much longer that Matt also isn't in uniform.
I'm going to guess.
Actually see them lasting a full season.
I'm going to guess by episode 5, we're going to see Frank, and I'm pretty sure we're going to see Matt suit up soon as well.
Do you see Frank being the thing that makes him suit up?
That's what the trailers have kind of led me to believe.
Now, whether he's going to help Frank, or Frank keeps capping fools and either says, you do your job, or I'm going to keep doing this, or he does that to not have collateral damage with Frank.
Now, that is a good question.
Because they brought up here that not every cop on that squad is bad. So, is you going to be like, I'm not killing everyone, whatever. He's like, not every one of those cops is bad.
I'm pretty sure we're gonna get like another version of like the rooftop scene from season 2.
Oh, I have a good feeling. It's going to be a very different version, but yes, it'll be a version nonetheless. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm looking quite forward to that. John Barenthal's such a good actor.
Oh yeah.
Like, it sucks that you can only have him in certain situations like this because you cannot have him in the Marvel movies because you're PG-13, and you just can't have the Punisher there. Now, if they start actually getting into more R-rated stuff, like when God knows, apparently they've got a script that Mahershala Ali and Kevin Feige both like. What's that? Yep, water's still wet, and there's still rumors about that Blade movie. But if you start having some R-rated movies where you can have Punisher in them, because we can't have him just relegated to being a side character in Daredevil.
And also that special that he's working on, I have a feeling that's going to turn into a movie.
A movie after?
Oh, like if that.
Or did you mean that thing's going to turn into a movie?
I said that thing's going to turn into a movie, but I could also imagine them wanting to keep it a special just to gauge the interest. And if people like it, then they'll be like, all right, let's put the next one in theaters.
Yeah, and I actually think it would be kind of smart to show what they're going to have, which they're going to have that in this, show what they have for Punisher, because, again, everyone loves to complain. They're going to say that they wimpified the Punisher before they see a movie.
Yeah.
The same people, again, that say they saw everything in the trailer, didn't see enough. But, yeah, there's going to be gauged interest. And they've shown they can make all of the money with an R-rated movie. Give or take, it is Deadpool, and you had Hugh Jackman back. But
with the right script and the right people involved, you can make a lot of money with an R-rated movie.
Yeah, and I know he doesn't exactly always have home runs, but I kind of wouldn't mind, and everyone thinks I'm going to say the topical answer for an action movie. I'm not. I would kind of like to see Anton Fuqua do a Punisher movie. Just basically do the Equalizer, but with the Punisher.
I was gonna say Gareth Evans, but
Gareth Evans isn't bad either.
Both are viable options.
Both are very viable options. I would not be against either. I really wouldn't. Or Matthew Vaughn did Kingsman, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be against Matthew Vaughn. I know everyone thinks we need to get one of the two people that did John Wick. I get that. But that isn't Frank. He's not going to speed reload and do all this and whatever. He's going to empty the gun and then beat the shit out of you with it. It's a little bit different flavor. So, and as much as I love both of them, I love all their movies that they've been involved in. Some other people can do action movies, so let's not fan cast them as every director for an action film.
Yeah, we gotta spread the love a little bit.
Exactly. I mean, you got people that can do Fury Road, and they can also do Happy Feet. You know, there's a happy there's a happy medium we can hit here. But you got anything else?
I think we pretty much covered everything. Overall, this is another really good episode.
Oh yeah, this is the best, in my opinion, of stuff at least that we've covered for this channel. This is the best episode of Marvel TV that's coming to my mind.
Of Marvel television, then yes, absolutely.
Yeah, this episode was phenomenal. It's outrageously good. But anyway, yeah. Can't wait till next week. All right. Mike, where can everybody find you?
You guys can find me on various social media sites at Captain K42. You can check out my quick thoughts on letterboxd.com/CoachK42. And you can follow Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Blue Sky at Renegade Pop Culture. You can also find us on YouTube, on Podchaser. Consider supporting our Patreon at patreon.com/Renegade Pop Culture. Listen to all of our podcasts on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. And last but not least, everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. You can escape, so do we.
Absolutely, and you can find me everywhere at Organon Zero. Mainly on Twitch and YouTube. If you are into cosplays and conventions, you can check out my Instagram. Bunch of photos from the weekend I just spent at Anime Milwaukee. I cosplayed Virgil, Nero, and The Chosen. Didn't really get any pictures with anyone from that day because I left pretty early because my ass wanted to get home. But had a ton of fun. To everyone that was at that convention, it's always freaking great. That convention is off the charts. Ran like a well-oiled machine at all times. I love Anime Milwaukee. And the other podcast that I do with my buddy Eli over on the Athletic Geek 89 channel, the Geeking Out podcast, we pick one topic a week and then just geek out. Ton of fun. All right, until next time, we will see you all later. Bye.
Peace.